Hey everyone, I'm super excited to be with you guys today to bring you a brand new series on this channel. This one's going to be called Road to A Class. So for the last 9 or 10 years, I've been doing iRacing, but I've only been doing oval stuff. I'm more of an oval guy. I've done some road stuff, but it was never in iRacing. I've done some Assetto Corsa, Dirt Rally, project cars a little bit, and of course I grew up on like the Gran Turismo series and stuff like that. Never done any iRacing stuff, so this first season is my first season ever doing any of the iRacing road stuff, and it's gone pretty well so far. I've been able to compete for a couple wins. Unfortunately, I missed my first 3 or 4 starts on recording them for you guys, and even this one I didn't get recorded how I wanted to. I was recording it, and I actually did get it recorded, but I didn't capture the audio, so that was a big bummer. So next best thing is showing you guys the replay and doing a voiceover of the replay. So that's what I'll be bringing you guys today. I hope you guys enjoy this series. Let me know what you think down below. I'm pretty excited about it. I've had this idea for quite a while, so I'm excited to bring it to you guys. Let me know what you think down below, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So here we are on the front stretch of the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Roval. One thing you'll notice about these road races is they use a standing start, usually, instead of a rolling start like an oval race would use. So in this session we did qualifying right before we started the race. I think it's a 10-lap race. Qualifying, I didn't even get a good lap in. I hadn't made very many practice laps. I wasn't very comfortable on the track just first starting out here. I'd only made, I don't know, less than 10 laps around this place probably. So I probably really shouldn't have even been in this race. As you can see, I started at the back because I didn't get a good qualifying lap in. Already passed a few cars, and then there's a wreck right here. Very lucky not to hit that. That saved the car and got me a few positions right there. So I'm actually already all the way up into the 3rd position. And these guys are side by side going into the chicane right here. So if you're not familiar with this track, this is the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval race, which is what NASCAR's done the last 2 years, if you're familiar with that. And it's a pretty interesting track. So they run half of it, not quite half of it, but they run obviously turns 3 and 4 and turns 1 and 2 up on the oval. So those guys get together right there, and already after the first lap, already up to the lead. So that was a huge shock to me. I was hoping to get actual footage of me racing in this, but I kind of screwed up and didn't capture the audio for it, so replay is all I can do. Track has quite a bit of character to it, so you can see this part's very flat, and it's got a few high-speed sections in it right there, but there's also a lot of tight turns where you slow down a lot. And then obviously you get up on that banking for the oval, and you get up to quite a bit of speed there. So as you can see right here, we're up on the banking in turns 1 and 2. That white car behind me is the 2nd place car. He's already quite a ways back. This chicane is something that they've reworked a little bit, once or twice over the past couple of years when NASCAR goes there. Guys would run in and hit those blue turtle shells, and it would just launch the car way up in the air. And here's where Jimmy Johnson spun out and took out Martin Truex for one of the playoff races. I think that was 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago now. So I definitely see some things that I could be doing differently. I think probably I have enough laps at this track now that if I was going to redo it, I probably would have a lot better lap times than when I did this race. Just because of the comfort of learning the track, and I'm still not super comfortable with this car. Pretty comfortable, but not as comfortable as I could be if I really put in the time with it. So this is the rookie Mazda class, which is like the class that you start out with on the road series in iRacing. Fixed setup, you can't change anything. It's just go out and run the best, smoothest laps you can. And it's really pretty fun. So I've been on iRacing for 9, almost 10 years now, and I'd never even touched the road side of things until this season. But it's pretty fun. I'm gonna keep going with this series, and I hope you guys like that. It's something I've had in mind for quite a while. So those curbs are fast as long as you can keep it on the red and white. If you get up on those blue turtle shells too much, then it can upset the car quite a bit. So like right there, I think I could have carried a little bit more speed and let it come closer out to that wall, and I think that would have helped me out quite a bit. So that white car back there is still kind of maintaining with me, but it looks like I've maybe stretched it out a little bit over him, a little bit more. That's one section of the track right there that's pretty tough to get right. So like I said, I'm hoping to have more of these videos coming up. I actually did get promoted to the Class D license at the end of this race. So next time you see one of these, it'll be in a different car for sure. But I hope to have more of these videos up, and hopefully I can actually capture my audio this time and have an actual video as I intended it. Another thing that I've started doing since this video was actually heel-toe braking, which I didn't think it upset the car too much when I didn't do it, but I think it does gain me a little bit of time each downshift that I do that. So that's something I do now. I wasn't doing it in this race though. Heel-toe downshifting is where you'll be braking for your corner and getting the car slowed down, and then maybe you have to downshift a gear. So what you'll do is you'll keep your foot on the brake, but you'll keep your right foot on the brake, and then when you go to downshift, you'll push the clutch in, put it in the next gear, the gear 1 down, and then roll your foot over to the throttle and blip the throttle, and it actually matches up the engine RPMs to the wheel RPMs a little bit better, and it doesn't upset the car as much when you downshift, because when you don't do that, it kind of just skids the rear end just a little bit. And in some cars it's not that big of a deal, but in some cars it'll really upset it. This car you could really do either way, but I think heel towing is just a little bit faster. So as you can see now, I have a healthy lead. Plenty of time between me and second. And I think I've already lapped a couple guys at this point. At least one or two. So I think that chicane I could even get through a little bit better than I am here. I think I start to figure that out a little bit by the end of this race. Not quite sure what lap we're on, but I've got to be at least close to halfway, if not maybe a little even past halfway. Off in the grass a little bit right there. Had 3 incidents total in this race, which I didn't think was that good, but it was enough to get me promoted, so can't complain. As you can see, I'm a little bit sideways right there. Cars seemed to get just freer and freer as the race went on. One thing I should mention is that even though this is my first season running iRacing, road racing, maybe you've seen my other video with the GT40. If not, I'll link it down below. I have been doing, Assetto Corsa. I've done a little bit of project cars. I really enjoyed Dirt Rally. And I've played a few of the dirt games before that even. So I'm pretty familiar with road racing, although I've never done it in iRacing. A lot of people say that iRacing's graphics are kind of outdated, but I kind of think, I don't know, maybe by my standards they're good, but by other people's standards they're not that great. But I'm impressed usually with how good things look. I do have a pretty monster PC running this, and I'm running it on triple screens right now. But I still am just impressed. And one thing that iRacing does so well is getting things optimized. So I've heard of guys running iRacing on laptops just fine, still being competitive. Right there, sideways again. Yeah, so I didn't really expect to even do very well in this race, considering I didn't have much practice time and I was starting at the back after qualifying, but made for a heck of a first lap. See, I think right there I may have hit one of those turtles a little bit. So here we're coming to the white flag right here. And you can tell the car is just getting freer and freer. Seems like I'm sliding around a little bit more and more each lap. So by now I feel like I've really started to figure out this course where even some of my trouble spots I've kind of worked out the kinks of, and I'm kind of getting through there pretty good. One spot I was having trouble with was a couple of those sharp right-handers right before you get up onto the banking for 1 and 2. And also actually the turn to get up on 1 and 2. And then you can see right there big into the turtles, and that really bounced me up in the air. Just trying to push a little bit hard. Just try to find a little bit more that I wasn't able to get right there. So, through the chicane one last time and picking up my first iRacing road win. That felt really good. That was awesome, especially for a race that I didn't have very high expectations going into. So it was a big surprise, and I'm glad I was finally able to do that. So that was my first iRacing Road Course Series win. Also, I got promoted to the Class D license. So episode 2 of this will be in a totally different car that I don't know yet. I've been testing with a couple ones, but haven't really made any final decisions on what I'll actually be running for Class D yet. So be looking forward to that. I also don't really know of a schedule that I'll be putting these videos out. So I upload on Thursdays and Fridays, but sometimes I'll schedule uploads to go up, for a few days. So I don't really know of a schedule yet, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just upload them as often as I can. Who knows? Anyway, gotta say a big thank you to Nathan Benson Motorsports, Sure-Built Suspensions, and DDI Fabrications for everything they do to help us out with our real-world racing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in episode 2.